Hello everybody, welcome back to Bag Only, the Infantry Only Ultimate Ironman here on Oldschool Runescape. For those of you who've not joined me before, this is basically just a UIM, but we're not using any additional storage, so we're not using any weird containers like a herb bag or rune pouch or gem bag. We're not death piling to store our items to go skill somewhere else, and we're not using any permanent storage like those stash units or the costume room in the house where you can put gear and armor in and save it for later and get it out. So the goal today, if you watched the last episode, you'll know that we got some Barrows gear, we got Arims and Carols, and we're going to head to Zulrah. So I'm starting off here just getting some fish, because we're going to need a ton of food for Zulrah, and of course we have the level to fish and cook these minnows into raw sharks, which is just great food, really good for PVM, very convenient, and we'll be heading over to the big snake. Why are we doing Zulrah? Well, that's the big question here. Let's go take a look at the collection log real quick. You can receive an onyx, which we of course have no use for. We're not making any further onyx or zenite jewelry right now. And then you can get yourself a magic fang, which of course upgrades your trident into a better one. Now it has like a couple more max hit, but it also has 10 more magic accuracy, which is actually really big. And then also of course the blowpipe and the serpentine helm. Of course it's around 1 in 128 to see any of these 4 drop. So I'm really hoping we do get spooned, like I say, on this serpentine, so we can replace our Slayer helm, wear this for both styles, and then we can just stop bringing Cure Me or Antidotes, and we'll have a couple more inventory spaces free, and we'll just take less damage per kill. And then of course there's your standard pet and jar, which are just cosmetic upgrades, and then there's 2 mutagens, which are just recolors for the serp helm itself. So there's a couple of drops from here. If we do receive the blowpipe or the magic fang or both before receiving the serp, maybe we'll stop doing Zulrah, but I do kind of want the serp because it's a really strong helm. It has 5 strength, and of course it has that functionality of meaning you never get poisoned or venomed anywhere, so you can use it in a couple of places. The biggest drops from the common stuff are the manta rays, the antidotes, and then I guess the tree seeds, but yeah, there's also runes, herbs, and alkables, so it's a really good boss for Ironman. It's just a bit of a shame that we don't have a bank to chuck all these awesome drops into. Right guys, just managed to do an elite clue from minnows, so let's see if we actually get anything good from our 3rd ever elite clue.
Ruddy afro wig.
I don't know either. So, of course, Zulrah is located in the Poison Swamp that you unlock after Regicide. You can access it through a boat, through a fairy ring, or through a teleport scroll. Now we're lucky enough to have trained our stats and skills and quests enough to have a fairy ring in our house, the Lumbridge Elite Diary already done, so we don't need a Drayman Staff, and also the 76 plus agility required to make the hop from the fairy ring with no boost. So to get back to Zulrah, we'll be going through our POH, restoring our spec and run energy first, and then taking that hop and just running to the boss. Of course, there are teleport scrolls you can get quite commonly as a drop from Zulrah, but for us I don't think it's worth the inventory space since it's about a 20-second run, whereas I'd much rather probably have 1 food. So I have just been dropping these over to the main as and when I get them from Zulrah, because they have much more value in bond money than they do to this account. Basically, the idea is there are 3 different forms, 3 different colours. You just move around this U-shaped little peninsula here, and you change your gear depending on the colour of the Zulrah that pops up, and then you attack him with different styles and pray against other things. I'm not going to make a boss guide here if you guys want to learn Zulrah. There's thousands of good boss guides out there, but just know it's a lot easier than a lot of the guides make it out to be. 2 of his 3 phases we mage, and 1 of his 3 phases we range. So your mage gear here makes a lot more difference than your range gear, unless you're a super high-end player and you're doing the ranged-only method of Zulrah, where you simply bring like the best in slot range on the phase that you're supposed to mage, and the kill becomes so easy, especially if you have access to anti-venom pluses or the serp helm, so you don't even have to worry about your poison bar. But for us, we'll be doing Zulrah the old-fashioned way with switches, mage into range. I'm sure you're wondering, well, why not just go get your bow for yourself? You've got access to Prif, and it makes this boss way easier, apparently. And I have had a few comments from you guys asking about the bow for specifically, which I will talk about either later in this video or in a subsequent video, but for now we're just killing Zulrah the old-fashioned way. Oh my god. I was trying to panic telly with my crystal, I dropped it. If I dropped that and then also died inside Zulrah, it would have despawned, I would have lost it. It wouldn't have gone to my death pile. That was so scary, dude. Guys, I keep forgetting to go back to Lunas, it's so annoying, honestly. Because I have to go off Lunas just to, resupply and get around the game, to go to banks, to unnote my stuff, to get back to my house, and then, obviously, I just forget to go back onto Lunas. Gonna have to abandon that one. I really thought this would be a lot smoother with the gear that we picked up, but it's just not I mean, we're going to have some downtime because there's a system update coming anyway. And so what I might do is just literally do some DPS calcs and stuff and just try and figure out what's a good weapon. I guess we could just look at the blue phase for our ranged weapon, but DPS isn't everything, obviously. You've got your attack range, and the availability of ammo makes a big difference. Kind of struggling here, but we'll get it. We'll get it. We're just at the start of the episode, don't you worry. So every now and again we would get a drop from Zulrah of 10 noted antidote ++s, which would mean that we would not have to bring the Lunar spell Cure Me for a couple of kills, which was really convenient, as just unnoting a single antidote is easily enough to get through a kill, and it means we have one extra space not using runes, so we can bring in extra food and be a little bit safer. What I am going to do is just really quickly revert this crystal shield, and we're going to try the crystal bow method, because if it's terrible, then worst case scenario we'll just go make another crossbow back, because we've still got the bolts. The only issue with this is it's going to be like a weird switch now. So it'll be like a 5-way half the time and a 4-way the other half the time, which will be a little bit confusing, but I think the DPS should be better with this thing. Plus we can attack Zulrah from further away, which means it'll be a little bit safer for those damage clouds. Plus another benefit of the crystal bow, you always use one of its charges every time you fire it, so there's absolutely no benefit to wearing a ranging cape, so we'll just go alch the range cape as well, and then we won't have to do a cape switch. And I might as well show here the setup once we're done with the kill. Head over to Ferox first, because of course we still don't have the healing pool in our house. Either go in the free-for-all portal or sip from the pool of refreshment. The portal is actually a little bit quicker. And then what I've been doing is literally just dropping our scales, our tellies, and any other loot that I don't want. But anyway, let's just grab an invent of food here. Let's head on over. Use our agility hop here. Yeah, I would say for any account, get 76 agility. It's not hard. It's really all you need for all the really useful shortcuts in the game. And this is just how we get back to Zulrah nice and cleanly. Make sure we get a hit, the ticket spawns, then we can get into this tile and just fire away. And then I'll do the same as last time, drop one shark so we can actually swap to range. So we've got an invent space. And this is an absolutely beautiful phase 1, nearly 100 damage. And then all you do with Zulrah is you just run around the room. That's it, really. It's just a case of running around the room. Of course, it's important to change your gear quickly so you can get back into attacking quickly, but it's a lot more important to do your protection prayer first, specifically at this boss, because it does hit so hard. And we get the red guy again, so we don't actually need to change gear, so that's good. Get ourselves like 3 or 4 attacks off real quick. Might be the time to also drink our anti-venoms. This bow has deliciously good range. I really like using the crystal family of bows on Zulrah, just because you can stand so far away and still do damage. And yeah, with the Ring of Suffering, that's the biggest thing that we have here in terms of unlocks, because we can just ignore the snakes entirely. And there we go, Pure Essence and Zulrah Scales, a deeply sad kill, but that's just kind of the kills we're doing with this gear setup now. Nice little bit of Tears of Gothic, so that just means another week of my life has gone on this video game, but that does mean we will be getting ourselves some free experience, so I guess swings and roundabouts. And there's 13k Herblore, meaning we're now 136,000 XP away from level 80, which I don't think unlocks anything, but of course the big level we've had pretty much since starting this account has been to get to 82, so we can boost to 87 for a number of things. But at 81 we do get those Saradomin brews, which is massive. But there we go, nice little Tears of Gothics, back to do some other stuff, then straight back to Zulrah, see if we can get our uniques. So guys, even if we go dry on uniques at Zulrah, what we won't go dry on is the kill count combat achievements, and here's the first one coming in at Zulrah, 25 kills for Zulrah Adept, and that's a hard task, meaning it's worth 3 achievement points, and then coming up down the line will be, I guess, 75 kills and 150 kills, which are 2 other achievements here, worth 4 and 5 points, respectively. There's a couple of other tasks at Zulrah, but we'll look into those later. At the minute, we're just trying to survive. And farming pet? Never lucky, but there's 12,000 farming XP. You're actually getting close to 87 now, thanks to all these awesome tree seed drops from Zulrah. Really, really nice to just actually take a little bit of a break to plant these. It's worth it, because obviously we can still make a few more spirit trees and stuff on the way to 99 farming. There's another kill coming in at Zulrah for Death Runes, a Magic Seed, and some Zulrah Scales. I think the Magic Patch in Falador should be available, which is always nice, because I've done the Falador Elite Diary. I can just plant regular tree seeds in Falador, and they're guaranteed to live, even without compost. So we'll go chuck this in Fally, and probably get like 7k farming XP tomorrow or something. Okay guys, I've just been and done some farming and herblore, made myself 50 single range pot doses, that's 2 full like patches of dwarf weeds. Now we're going to see how much better this is with just like a plus 12 range boost. Probably not going to be very noticeable, but hopefully it's going to help the crystal bow go off. So for those interested, I think I've been on the game like 3 hours, maybe 4 today, and I've killed 11 Zulrah. Obviously that includes an hour doing the fishing, but I mean that is time that we do need to consider on this account, and also the time, you know, planting fruit tree seeds in between kills and silly things like that. But yeah, my kills per hour at Zulrah would be about 7 kills an hour, and the uniques here are 2 in 1,000 each. At least we can relatively consistently kill it. And it is dropping us some nice supplies in the form of these noted manta rays and these noted antidotes as well. The range put on, it seems like we have 1 or 2 more max hit and like 3% more hit chance. Instead of 66, it's 69. So it is a difference, but there you go, there's a Zulrah kill. We get ourselves 30 dwarf weeds. What? In theory, that's 30 more range pots, but it's so tedious to telegrab wines of Zami on this account, but I guess I'll have to go make those up before the next kill to get rid of the invent space, so I'll see you guys in like half an hour when I've made all these. Hey friends, here we are in, kind of in Mauritania, I guess, on this small island with a hard clue casket. So let's see if we pull any uniques for the log. Oh, Zamorak blessed chaps, and 2 d'hide bodies, and a Zami blessing. A very Zami heavy clue. This would be so amazing if this was like your first hard clue as an Ironman. That's kind of an interesting leg piece though, because the stats are actually very comparable to Carol's. Yeah, it's got 7 less magic defense, which is kind of what you want Carol's for, but otherwise the offensive stats are the same, and it has an additional prayer bonus, and it also protects you from Zami things in God Wars. But I think for what we're doing going forward, I think the extra mage defense from Carol's legs will be better, which is a shame, but that would be amazing if I didn't have Carol's legs. I guess we'll be getting rid of all this stuff, but really nice to pull that as a unique, probably a drop trade as well, because it's 500,000. Jesus guys, that was a difficult kill, because, oh my god. I just got 2 dragon meds. But yeah, that kill was terrible because in doing those undead druids last night for these Zami wines, I turned my recoil thing off, and you can't turn it back on in combat, so that whole kill, the snakelings were just destroying me. There we go. You need like several ticks, I guess, to switch that on. But yeah, 2 D meds, 1 kill there. Very, very strange. But yeah, really enjoying doing Zulrah when I do have manta rays. When I don't have manta rays, it is a little less enjoyable because the downtime is so low. I literally just go to Ferox, get myself my stats back, and just unnote these manta rays on the chest and come straight back to Zulrah. I don't have to unnote these sharks, go to then the Myths Guild, and then cook them there, which does take a little bit more time. Just hope we don't get super dry on the uniques, like I say, because I kind of want to move on to raids and stuff after this, or other exciting content. I've got kind of a vague idea for the plan of the account going forward. I'd like to get your guys' opinion on it, really. I'm thinking, of course, we go to Cerberus probably after this, just because we'll already have our Slayer Helm on us, and we need to do Cerberus on a Hellhound task, of course. Try and get the Primordial boots specifically. Those are going to kind of be the boots we camp for raids. We're not going to be using a boot switch, of course. And then with Cerberus done and the Primordial boots and all the uniques from here, I think I'll just go to Vorkath. Here's the Zulrah kill, by the way. Some grapes, some Chaos Runes, and Scales coming in at 59 kills. But yeah, we'll just do 50 Vorkath, or we'll get the Vorkath's head, whichever comes first. We can use that to then upgrade our ranging cape permanently going forward. For those of you not in the know, you can in fact use a Vorkath's head on a range cape, and then it gains the same ammo saving effect as the highest tier of Avas. Anytime we destroy our range cape and go back and buy a new one, it will be as powerful as the best Avas. So it's kind of like a permanent account upgrade, so that's why we want to be chasing that specifically. I think we'll look into probably Raids 3 first with some relatively low invocations, just because we want to pull that Osmundton's Fang. That's going to be super useful for killing like any boss where we use melee going forward. So that's kind of a vague plan. I really would like you guys' suggestions though. Get all the Zulrah uniques, all 3, then we'll go Cerberus, we'll get the Primordial boots, and then we'll go Vorkath just to upgrade our range cape, just as like a little side project to work on, and then with those things done we'll probably go do Raids 3, get our Fang, and then after that probably Raids 1, and in between, probably after we've got our Fang, we'll probably also try and get at least 1 kill at all the God Wars bosses to both unlock necks and finish the Fremi Elite Diary. But yeah, we're going to do obviously Zulrah first, that's what we're here for, just hoping we don't go dry. Right guys, here we are in Taibo One Eye, about to get ourselves a farming level with the health of this Calquat tree here. There we go, 87 farming coming in. Like I say, nothing really exciting with that one, but in one more level at 88, we will be able to simply pie boost up a simple +3 and put another spirit tree somewhere in the game. Of course, we could have done it at 86 with a stew boost, but I don't want to mess about with stews anymore. My stew luck's been awful on this account. I don't want to spend a full day boosting 2 plant trees, but pretty much this entire farming level here from 86 to 87 has been from Zulrah. So shout out to the big snake. Oh my gosh, guys, that was a long one. Let's have a look. 3 minutes 24 for that Zulrah kill. I'm amazed I survived the whole thing, but there we go. Death runes and rune ore. Here we go, guys, the first kill of the day for 10 Torstals. Trying to think what I can really do with Torstals on this account. I think we can only make Zammy brews with those, which I will go do, because we do have the Jangaberry bush in the farming guild, so it's super convenient to turn these into Zammy brews. The idea of these drops, if you add these scales to anti-poisons that you also get as a drop here, they turn to anti-venom basics, and then you can just chuck a Torstal in, and it becomes the extended anti-venom. If you have 94 Herblore, you can just make the best anti-venoms. So if we were here with, like, maxed Herblore, our life would be so much easier, because we'd be getting all the drops here to make, like, the best anti-venom potions. But anyway, 10 Torstals already cleaned. That's kind of nice. Oopsie whoopsie, died again. Oh, I'm glad the deaths here are free, honestly. Before we had Lumbridge Elite Diary done, and every time we died we lost our Drum stuff, and it was really hard to get back to our body. Then Ultimate Ironman rules were really sucky, but now we're kind of almost a maxed account. The Ultimate Ironman rules are actually quite nice, because it's free to get my stuff back, so otherwise my cash stack would be dwindling by 100k each time if I was a normal account, and that would certainly add up with my skill level. Oh man, that one was scuffed as usual, but there's Zulrah Veteran coming in. That's just getting 75 kill count. We're now 79 points away from hard, which is crazy because I've not really looked into it too much aside from the other episode where we got the full Darox. So I'm very, very confident now that this is a points-based system we'll be able to hit hard eventually. And we're back after a little bit of farming, and we're awarded with Dragon Bones and Lore Runes. That's kind of nice. We'll go use these Dragon Bones on our house altar. It's a nice little bit of prayer. It's like, I think 2,000 XP, so pretty good. Alright guys, there we go, kill 100 on Zulrah. No uniques yet, but we get ourselves 2 Toadflax Seeds and some Battle Staffs for this kill. That's 34 done today in real time, averaging just under 8 Zulrahs killed per hour. We have had Adamant Javelins from the rare drop table twice in these 100 kills, which is very depressing because they're rarer than all the uniques, and we've yet to see a unique. The uniques kind of average out to be around 1 in 128 for any of them, so hopefully we'll see one in the next kind of 28 kills or so, you never know. Pretty decent boss, it's just very, very slow, so I hope we don't go dry for thousands or we'll be here for weeks. And there we go, another Zulrah complete. Toadflaxes and Runite Bar. Very interesting. Kind of worried that this single Runite Bar unnoted might be from the rare drop table again. That's at least our 3rd rare drop table roll here at Zulrah in 116 kills. Obviously the uniques being 1 in 1,000, so that sucks. There it is, guys, 128 Zulrahs. And with that, we get ourselves some Addy Bars and some Death Runes. Here's what we've had. 30k scales, 72 teleports, and no uniques, which isn't super uncommon to see. You know, we're not dry, and our supplies are holding up. We've only got more and more range pots as we've got more kills, and we don't even really need prayer unless we just get incredibly bad luck with our DPS. There is a combat achievement at 150, so we'll keep pushing towards that, and we'll see if we pull any uniques in the next 22. Okay guys, I'm back with 300 sharks and a full trident, more or less. I'm just going to refresh our crystal bow, I guess. I want to see how much this ends up costing. Yeah, the price per crystal bow now is down to 180k, which is cool. The more times you have a crystal weapon seed re-enchanted by this NPC, the cost in coins goes down, and 180k is pretty much nothing for 2,500 charges, is it? Just thought I'd clue you guys into that in case you didn't know about crystal weapons. Of course, if we do ever drop our crystal bow to buy another one, if we don't get a seed from the gauntlet ourselves, the NPC that actually sells the crystal bow, it still always costs the full 750k, but if it does run out of charges and revert to a seed, you can have it remade here for as little as 180k. I don't think it goes lower than that, but that's a real bargain price for 2,500 shots of this really good weapon. Oh, there we go, guys. It's always refreshing to get a relatively clean Zulrah kill, and for that one we get a Rune Battle Axe and some Lore Runes. Fairly sure Rune Battle Axe isn't on the normal drop table. And here it is, guys, the 150th Zulrah kill, and with that we get ourselves Zulrah Master, which is worth 5 combat achievement points. I think that's an elite task, I guess. But there we go, 150 Zulrahs, still no drops sadly, but we are at least graced with the 35 Manta Rays that we do love on kill 150. And here we are, guys, a few hours later for kill 163, for our 3rd drop of rare drop table Adamant Javelins, which are 1 in 1,800. We've now had that drop 3 times, in 163 kills, which is very depressing because all the uniques here are 1 in 1,000. Very, very cool. Hey gamers, you know what time it is. It's the Cave Lore juice? Yeah, we'll go with that. It's the Herblore juice, the Cave juice, the Tears of Gothics for the week. Yep, there's 13,000 more Herblore experience, putting us at 90k away from 80 as we slowly approach the 82 that we need, yada yada, anti-venoms, all that stuff. There's another week down the drain. Hey guys, here we are in an unexpected location. So around this point I'd killed 177 Zulrah, we were dry of even seeing a single unique at this point, and I just ran out of antidotes, which means we would have had to have left and done some world hopping and shopping to buy some runes for Cure Me. So I decided to take a quick break from doing Zulrah to do a little bit of skilling, because I don't think we've got very many skill ups for like an episode and a half. I'm going to work on some thieving here. We are 86, very close to 87, and with 90 we'll unlock Tazars, and with 91 we'll unlock a Desert Elite task, which we really need to do eventually. And also all thieving progress is good, because every level we get more XP an hour because our success chance goes up, and when we do get that 99 cape, it's going to help us thieving elves and Vyres post 99 to get things like crystal shards for our Bofa and blood shards for our Blood Fury. So really worth training this skill, and it's something we can do at any time. There it is. That now leaves us with 2 more levels left for all the thieving unlocks in the game, heading towards level 91 of course for that Pyramid Plunder room. So we'll go do some more Zulrah for a bit, and then we will, at some stage when we want another PVM break, just come back and finish these last 2 thieving levels off, which is where we'll stop for a bit with thieving. But like I say, you know, we can always use 99 thieving, it has an actually good cape. And there we go guys, back again for another Zulrah, slowly approaching 200 Zulrahs here with 192, and that's some more antidotes for the stack for when we do swap back to using those, so that's really nice. And we're back again for a relatively clean Zulrah kill there, and we get ourselves Dwarf Weeds again. Am I going to spend another half an hour making range pots? I guess I am. And we are back, gamers! Shout out to Lonely Spark there in the chat. Grats on your magic fang, buddy. And there it is, 200 Zulrah with nothing. And that kill was 2 rolls of Chaos Runes, so 1,000 Chaos Runes for that kill, which would be nice, but I have recently refilled the Trident, so we've had 100 teleports, battle staffs, 150 antidotes, 700 manta rays, 6k deaths, all that stuff there you can see yourself. Rare drop table rune battle axe, rare drop table rune bar, the 3k coin roll, which is quite common from the rare drop table, it's like 1 in 120, we've had that 3 times, and we've had the 1 in 1800 addy javelins 3 times, and then just so many seeds, but really just like nothing else useful for the account. I have turned all the herbs you see here into potions pretty much, I think, and of course we've got almost a farming level so far from all these seeds. We are trucking along nicely here towards 88, which is good. So as you can see here, our Zulrah kills for a full day averaged out is 4.9 Zulrahs per hour. I've done 25 kills today in 5 hours 10 of this session, and the average kill has been 83k. It's so sad how little value there is in Zulrah kills these days, but you know, there you go. So around this point I decided to start going for one of the combat achievements, Snake Rebound, where you just have to bring some death runes along with the runes we already had for Cure Me, and just make sure you get the last hit on Zulrah with a Venge. Hey, there we go guys, we did it! And we're rewarded with some Dwarfweed Seeds and Snake Skin, which is garbage loot, but we managed the Vengeance kill there for Snake Rebound. Right guys, taking another little break here from Zulrah for some more skilling, and that's 90 thieving. Quite a big level on the account, looks super clean. Anyway, I'm going to be working on this last level of thieving as and when I want breaks from Zulrah, like I mentioned before, and then we'll be able to do a Desert Diary task and have everything in the skill unlocked. And back again for some battle staffs and another palm tree seed, dude. In like the last 20 kills, I think I've had maybe 5 or 6 of these now. We are trucking along towards 88 farming now, only 70k left, so we'll probably get this before we see any uniques, to be honest. Right guys, and that is a Hespori defeated with the crystal bow setup. But there it is, 88 farming on the account, a level entirely from Zulrah drops, which is really cool because the levels are quite large at this stage of the account. Like I have mentioned before, what we do get is the ability to now hit 91 for each second spirit tree with only a pie boost instead of a stew. So if we do see the 1 in 248 spirit seed drop again from Zulrah, we will actually be able to very easily plant an additional spirit tree somewhere in the ground here with just a pie boost, and you can buy the pie as well from Varrock instead of having to make it, so it'll be so easy. And there we go guys, another snake downed, and we get ourselves Snapdragons times 10 and some bolt tips, so I guess we'll go make ourselves some super restores. The potion stacks are actually growing on this account, which is nice, because like I say, unless the kill goes really badly, I don't use a prayer sip. We've now got 70 antidotes, we've already got 150 restores, and we've got 500 sips of range pot, but that's 268 Zulrahs down. And we are back again for one more big snake kill, and we get ourselves an uncut emerald. 1 in 1400, so that's like our 5th or 6th incredibly rare drop table roll. That's rarer than all the uniques. There we go guys, relatively clean Zulrah kill coming in. Will we be awarded though? Oh, the Chance Fang, that's it. That's our first unique. 276 Zulrah, and that's the blowpipe. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so pleased. Of the three, that's probably the least helpful here, but it does mean we can now ditch the crystal bow and give this bad boy a try and see if it makes that much difference to our kills. The magic fang would have given us a lot more DPS with our trident, and the serp would mean we don't have to bring silly cure me runes, but I'm not going to complain. That's the first unique here on the collection log at 276 Zulras. Let's go grab a chisel or whatever it is, see if we can work out how we're going to get some ammo for this. It might be heading back to Aviances to get Addy bars. Can't believe it. Finally, it's been like 2 weeks. Right guys, here we are. We've got ourselves a chisel and we're going to use our Tanzanite Fang and make ourselves a toxic blowpipe on the UIM. That's insane. I've never had a blowpipe on an Ironman before. Of course, it has been nerfed a lot since it came out. Now, of course, there's the Bofa, which you can get, which is kind of a stopgap between this and the T-bow. Now, like I say, we do have a couple of scales. The reason I've not been hanging on to scales up to this point during Zulrah is that I just didn't want the invent space wasted, and since you get scales every single kill, we'll definitely earn more scales than we use, so I might as well just start collecting them now we have an item to put them into. The issue is, what are we going to do for ammunition? I think the best way is still to go and kill Aviances in God Wars, because we have done Fremennik Hard Diary. Spend 10-15 minutes there killing Aviances. Really quickly whip up some Addy darts, just because they're the easiest ones to do. Like I say, we do have the levels for mining amethyst, and we have the levels to make amethyst arrow tips. We can do arrow tips and bolt tips, and the dart tips are 3 levels away. That is a level I do want though. And then of course we also need 90 fletching as well, and we're almost 83. So there's many hours and lots of money in expenses, so we can actually make the best ammo possible. But I do think the method is going to be Addy darts for now. Right guys, there we have it. It took a little shy of 40 minutes to get 1,000 Addy darts from scratch. Including gathering the bars, smithing them, and adding feathers. So there we are. This feels really dirty to do, but here we go. I'm going to put the Addy bars inside my blowpipe. Wow, we're doing storage, guys. Account ruined. No idea what the DPS is going to be, but I'm very excited to go try at Zulrah. Oh, and we're back then. Can we get a back-to-back? No. Chaos runes and grapes. That's okay, though. We do need to refill our trident, so we'll take those runes. Yeah, 215. Decent. Not barnstorming, not a PB. PB's 138, but you know, maybe we'll get a PB now with this blowpipe. It does seem rather good. And of course, every kill now we can just put all our scales inside, build this up until we do hit 16k, but hopefully by then we'll have another unique to put these into, who knows. And another Zulrah defeated, gamers. We get ourselves a rune battle axe from the rare drop table this time, always sad to see those, and some chaos runes.
Hello everybody, it's another day and I've been chilling, not doing any Zulrah for a bit, and instead been doing thieving. This is now the 4th level this episode. We now have 91 thieving on the account, which means we're actually done for every single thieving unlock in the game. I know for sure I can get 185k plus an hour at this level, and of course once you hit 95 thieving you stop failing at RD Knights, which means you get like 220, 240k XP an hour just clicking this guy, and you need no supplies. The only issue with RD Knights is of course the money is kind of rubbish, because, you know, we don't have the access to the Rogue's outfit on this account, which is going to suck down the line when we do go for Bofa, and we're trying to accumulate those crystal shards, but I feel like we'll probably go dry on it and end up with getting loads of shards from the gauntlet anyway. So what I'm going to do here is just grab ourselves a couple of runes, because we're going to go head off now and do a couple of Desert Diary tasks. We've only done 1 of the 6 achievements, I believe, for Elite. We made a wild pie in the Chompy episode in order to go fight those Hydras. Now what we can do is go really quickly, steal from the grand golden chest in the final room of plunder, so we'll go grab a lockpick and head towards doing that, and we'll also just go cast Ice Barrage against a foe in the desert as well, just because we are 94 plus magic. And then we go, an elite task in the desert. You don't need to kill the enemy, and now what we need to do is head over to plunder. Not seen this room before on this account. Excuse the very ugly plugin, it's still turned on from when I was here for days and days, so... and there we go. We just search this final chest, we get a golden statuette that falls to the floor because our invent's full, and that's our desert task complete. Like I say, there's now only 3 left, but they're all incredibly hard: 85 prayer, 95 fletching, and 256 Calphite Queen kills, but that is an incredibly powerful diary when you do complete it, and has some really good rewards. So it is on the cards, but it's going to be kind of more of a passive grind, especially because there's so much prayer level that we'll probably end up getting through Slayer in a long time. Alright guys, there we go, 82 Hunter coming in as a random clip. Just randomly doing some birdhouses because I'm heading to Fossil Island anyway to check some mahogany trees. But yeah, 82 Hunter coming in. I think next level's Dragon Imps. So here's 25 Zulrahs later after getting our blowpipe. We're on 300 KC now. For this kill specifically, we get ourselves some Addy Bars and Lore Runes, which are both good drops. And there we go, 83 fletching. We were close to that for a while, but it is nice to finally hit that level. That means we now only need 7 more levels in fletching to get Amethyst darts. But of course, we also need 3 crafting levels for those. So, hey everybody, a random quick one coming in here. Just doing a little bit of AFK woodcutting here with some very, very terrible XP an hour. As you can see, 14k an hour. So that's 83 woodcutting. Like I say, don't really want to focus too much on woodcutting because when we do go for 99 construction one day, assuming we do chop all the planks ourselves from teak logs, we will definitely end up with over 90 woodcutting just from doing that, which will unlock all the trees, including those amazing redwoods at 90. So I don't really need to woodcut, but there's just very, very few skills that I can AFK like this. We do also need that 90 fletching anyway, so it just seemed like a no-brainer to come and do magic trees. Anyway, yeah, level 83 woodcutting onwards. And back at it again for another one. Ooh, Addy Bars and Dwarf Weeds, another great drop. We're getting insane supplies right now. Our stack of range pots is 460, so we can go add another 90 to this stack. That's great. Right guys, hard to believe, but we actually managed to complete that elite clue casket there from Zulrah. There was no equipment steps. I actually got the same Bandos minion twice. I'm just hoping for any unique. That's what I want to see here. Let's go. Dude, I'm so depressed at this game. Forgot antidotes again, guys, but we get ourselves a spirit seed. That's really good. We can actually go garden pie up and actually plant this now. We have just planted this here in the farming guild. I was a little bit torn between this and Port Sarim, but I just figured this one will be really convenient for doing our tree runs. It'll save us teleporting home after we come to the farming guild. We can just instead use this spirit tree to go either straight home or to Brimhaven or to either of the gnome towns to check on those trees. So when this is grown in like 3 days time, not only will it be 16k farming XP or so for our ever-growing level of 88, but we will also have just some more transportation around the game. And here we go, guys, another Zulrah kill coming in. Double Manta Rays there for 348 Zulrah kills. Honestly, one of the best drops we can get. And during that kill, we also hit 96 magic, which is such an insane level to get. Only 3 levels away from 99 and the Mage Cape. And that is actually the level where we get another max hit with the Trident of the Seas that we have here. And another max hit will come at 99 as well. Of course, this also transfers to all the other powered staves. We also unlock Spellbook Swap, which of course we've been using anyway thanks to our Imbued Heart. And of course, every mage level is additional accuracy and potentially damage with different magic sources. And here we are, guys, 350 Zulrahs completed on the account. We get ourselves some nice U-logs for some fletching XP and some nice flax to drop on the floor and watch despawn. By the way, for anyone who cares, if we do get any supplies like these logs that need fletching, what I do is just come from our house through our games necklace, straight to our boy Martin Thwaite here. He sells a knife, which is really convenient, and then what you can do, just drop all your supplies temporarily, unnote your stuff on this guy really close to him, and then just fletch them for XP, and then as soon as your inventory's done fletching, we just go back to Martin here, and we can just sell our bows to him for a little bit of GP. There's really no need, you know, we could very easily just fletch these 35 logs at a bank and just drop them on the ground, but since this bank is so close to a guy who acts as a high alch buying shop, and also he sells the knife so we don't have to grab one from our house first. It's just a really, really convenient spot. Right guys, that is 357 Zulrah defeated, and I actually can't fit any more scales in the blowpipe. It's now completely full, 16,383 scales. I'm sure programmers out there will tell me why that is. But yeah, I'm going to have to start dropping extra scales over again until we receive another unique. Now for the next 2 drops at Zulrah, the Fang and the Serp, they will unlock more bosses for us going forward. If we do get the Magic Fang first and we get the better Trident, then it will mean that we can go to Phantom Muspa potentially, and we can go kill that guy a bit until we get enough dust to upgrade this heart. You need 150k dust, it drops a few hundred per kill, and there's obviously rare chances to get more as like a side drop. And of course, if it drops one of the shards of the Venator bow, which is the Phantom Muspa unique, you can actually break that down into 50k of the dust, which is obviously a third of what we would need. So I think if we kill it around 150 times and we go on drop rate, then we'll have enough dust to upgrade this Imbued Heart. It'll give us another 1 or 2 Mage Max hits, and it'll act like a divine potion. And then of course there's a couple of bosses and encounters in the game that use poison or venom. The big one
one being Vorkath, where the Serpentine Helm will help us quite a lot in getting those kills. And of course at Vorkath you also can't use Cure Me, because you have to use Crumble Undead, which means you have to be on the standard spellbook really to kill him. We just want the Vorkath head from there really to upgrade our range cape, like I've mentioned before, and that's becoming more and more important now as we've achieved our Toxic Blowpipe here, and once we get a couple more levels and get up to Amethyst Darts, we're really going to want to save as many of those darts as possible by having the highest tier Ava's effect on our range cape. So those are kind of two bosses that we're going to unlock as soon as we get more uniques from Zulrah. We're just not really getting uniques from Zulrah. The very long-term goals for this account, I want to do the raids, basically. I want to do Chambers and TOA. I'd like to see a unique from some of the raids. I figure that's a really good, like, kind of end goal for the series. So of course we will want to get our quest cape back as usual. We'll also want to work on the rest of these non-wilderness diaries we have left, and then I've got a number of bosses we want to go to get even better gear so we can get into raiding. Gamers, we have a hard clue casket. Let's see if we'll see any of the missing god book pages or anything that we still need for those other books. Wow, I thought we were about to get it then, but I guess that's a duplicate because there's no collection log pop-up. Would be nice to get this ancient page 1, but sadly we've had 2 2s and 3 4s. Okay guys, here we are at the very end of Kill 400 coming up. Just checked the recordings. I've now been at Zulrah for 25 days, doing at least some Zulrahs every single day, and that is 400 kills. Of course it says 399 because I did 1 kill not on RuneLite just after an update because the game wasn't up yet, but there you go, 34 mil. Kinda sad really. Not even 100k a kill for a boss that requires so much effort and supplies. Probably been about 60 hours plus so far over the last 25 days, close to a month. I mean, we have got 1 or 2 levels, of course. We've got almost 2 farming levels now. We've made a little bit of progress in our fletching, things like that, just from the drops here. Really good stuff in that regard. These 400 kills have all been 1 kill trips. I think maybe I got 1 2 kill trip at some point. And I do enjoy doing 1 kill trips because it means we don't have to drink any of our prayer. We can save all this. And I think to kill Cerberus, you go through a couple of prayer potions per kill because it has this crazy mechanic that drains 90 prayer. So that's going to be a couple of prayer pots per KC when we're chasing a 1 in 512. At least we haven't seen a dupe. I guess at least we haven't seen 2 blowpipes, right? That would probably be more frustrating than not seeing anything else. Oh, guys, look at that food left after this Zulrah kill. Amazing. It's another magic seed, and that was a PB as well, 122. I think my PB before was like 138 or something. That's insane. So the very basic speed run, yeah, it's 1 minute 20, so if we were 2 seconds quicker, we would have got that, but Zulrah is entirely RNG. Right guys, here we are just really quickly planting a palm seed from Zulrah, and our spirit tree is ready from the other day, so we can check health on this bad boy, get ourselves 19,000 farming XP, and now if we check our list of spirit trees, we have all these ones in the game, but you know, we will slowly and passively be progressing towards farming, so maybe we'll unlock those at some point. Right gang, here's 434 Zulrahs. That really shocked me. I thought that was something then, but that's a double Zalendra teleport scroll drop, which is over 200k, so it gets a pink beam. What a scam. And here's another random one for you guys. I'm on the Prif agility course here, did a couple of hours last night, and then today I'm about to finish off level 88 agility. This is kind of a good one because it will give us the shortcut from the entrance of the Konar dungeon to the alchemical Hydra, which while we can't really use now, will be useful in 2 more Slayer levels when we do unlock that boss. So nice to have that out of the way. And then of course there's nothing at 89, I think that maybe there's a Rev Cave shortcut or something useless. And then 90 is obviously the big one we've been going for a long time to get RD course with no boost. And since we've already finished the RD Elite Diary, we'll get loads of marks of grace from doing that when we do want staminas in future. And continuing the trend here of skilling, we're here in the Tears of Guthix Cave for our weekly Herblore juice. This should be 80 Herblore, I believe, coming in, because we're only a couple of thousand away thanks to all the noted herbs we've been getting from Zulrah. And there we go, 80 Herblore on the account. That's kind of crazy. With that level we can make Ranging Mix, which is worthless, and Bastion and Battle Mage potions with the Vial of Blood drops from TOB. And that does mean that we are now 1 level away from Saradomin Brews, which are 81. Of course we can sip a Greenman's Ale and make these now, which might be convenient, but for now we will just be going back to Zulrah, probably getting some more XP through those noted herbs like I've been saying. But yeah, really insane milestones picked up today, and we're now 2050 total, so the account's looking crazy good. And there we go guys, 1 more Zulrah down, and we get double Snapdragons. Wow, speaking of Herblore XP in that Tears of Guthix clip, that's really good. That's going to be 20 super restores, so we'll take those, we'll go make them, and we'll come back for more snaking. Alright guys, we're straight back and we get ourselves Calcot Tree Seeds and another 10 Snapdragons after getting 20 last kill. So I'll once again go and make 10 more Super Restores. Absolutely love the Herblore XP from this drop. Guys, I don't want to jinx this kill here, but I haven't missed yet. So assuming the absolute worst doesn't happen, the blowpipe doesn't just noodle completely, this could be an incredibly fast kill. I'm going to take some damage here and see if we can force a PB in this phase. 0, 0, 0, 0, that's really sad. Okay, that was quite a fast Zulrah kill. 122 PB. That was just purely insane luck, like I say. Had we just hit when we were stood in this Venom Cloud and we missed like 3 times, that could have been the 120. Right guys, that's 458 Zulrahs, and there's a suspicious rare drop table looking drop on the ground there of 100 silver ore. That's a 1 in 1760, like all those other rare drop table rolls we've received here, which is of course a lot rarer than all the 1 in 1000 uniques that we still haven't got, so yeah, it just hurts. And there we go guys, 460 kills, and that's a palm tree seed and another rare drop table roll of Rune Battle Axe, which is deeply disappointing as ever. We got a magic seed and the rare drop table roll of nothing. I mean, the nothing isn't super rare, it's 1 in 150, but yeah. In the last 4 kills, I've hit the rare drop table 3 times. Oh my god. There's 468 kills, guys. There's some addy bars for darts, but once again, another Rune Battle Axe. And I've had so many of these now. This is my second Rune Battle Axe of today. Guys, I'm doing my fletching in between this kill. I'm just using up these logs, and of course I have to juggle my food and supplies on the floor, and this guy's just yoinked it. This level 3's just took my manta rays and my prayer pot. Very rude, but I guess times are tough out here in RuneScape. Wow, guys, there's 475 Zulrahs killed, and for our efforts we get a double roll of snakeskin. Possibly the worst drop you can get. Right guys, here we are preparing some sharks for Zulrah, and if we can successfully cook one more, then that is 88 cooking coming in on the account. That's actually kind of a big level. We now get slightly more Zulrah scales from sacred eels, which are the fishing alternative to get our Zulrah scales instead of killing Zulrah. You can fish these eels here, just use a knife on them, and then based on your cooking level, you receive a number of Zulrah scales. We should now get an average of 6 with 88 cooking, which will be a nice alternative down the line when we're sick of Zulrah, but we still have Zulrah gear to charge up. I think we stopped cooking at 84 to unlock anglerfish, so yeah, these 4 levels since then have just been natural through cooking food to use, which is really, really good. It's not often you get passive XP in this game that does add up. Right guys, here it is, the big 500 Zulrah. That's swamp tar and mahogany logs, a very underwhelming drop. We're going to go till at least 512 this video, because that is the drop rate for all the uniques. It's crazy that we've only seen 1, but you know, RNG just be like that sometimes. So we'll keep trucking on, but there's 500 kills, crazy stuff. Hello everybody, I'm hoping you'll join me here for Zulrah kill 512. Maybe the presence of you guys will give us some of that much needed RNG. So here's how I prepare when I do have manta rays already. Just unequip a piece of gear, that gives us 1 invent space that we can then unequip and get ourselves a range pot, drink it. We go on to Lunas, of course, for Cure Me. We get our Spec and Run Back. We get a BJS. We head here, use our heart, chuck on our Mage Prey. We'll just do a full kill, because, you know, you guys have seen the loot now for a long time from like a few hundred kills. You've not really seen a full kill in a while. I'll be totally honest with you, I haven't learned the Zulrah rotations. I said I was going to, I haven't. I'm aware there's a plugin you can have on the side that shows you kind of the rotation. You just need to start off by clicking, and then it fills in the rest for you. But I didn't really have the space on my screen, honestly, with the recorder and stuff going on, so you do kind of pick up on patterns, though, from all of them. I know most of them now. But honestly, this boss is just RNG. It's just RNG whether blue Zulrah hits you loads and loads of times, and whether it goes through all your food before you do enough DPS to get the kill. That's all it is, really. It's honestly just a case of running from one side of the arena to the other and just changing your gear and prayers as appropriate when a different Zulrah pops up, and then just making some time to deal with Venom as and when you can be bothered in between. The blowpipe DPS is nice, but it's very, very random. It's like a 57% hit chance, so if it hits really, really well, but if it doesn't hit, which can happen for entire phases of the Tanzanite form, then you just have really, really terrible kills, and the Tanzanite one is the one that does the most damage to you with these random blue hits that you can't predict, and they hit up to like 42 or something. So if it does like 6 of those in a row, he can very, very easily kill you very quickly, which has happened on a number of occasions. I've shown a few deaths in this, but I mostly don't include them because they're not super interesting. It is really nice to have the Elite Diary done for that 1 free revive per day, but there we go. That's Zulrah 512, an incredibly fast one, and we get ourselves some Chaos Runes and some Antidotes, which we're just stacking up, but we don't really really need because Cure Me has turned out to be so good. So what I'm doing with the Zulrah scales is just topping up the blowpipe with like the 10 or whatever we've spent on the kill, and then I'm just dropping them. Because if I go sell them to a shop, it's not worth it for 2k coins. I'll go sell the Chaos Runes to Ali, I'll go note these down into 1 doses to add to our stack, and then we'll just go unnote some Mantas, take another range sip at the bank, and come back and do the exact same thing. So that's what I've been doing for the last month. That's 512 Zulrah, that's the drop rate for all the uniques. Obviously RNG never really works out that way, but to say we've only had 1 of the 4 is very unlucky. Just the Tansfang, and of course I wanted the Serp Helm first. Ideally it would have made this so much easier, or even the Magic Fang, which would give us, I think, over 10% more mage damage. A little bit disappointed in the look. I guess we're just going to have to keep on trucking, but it's really delaying me being able to make videos, which is the main thing that's annoying me about going this dry.
Right, guys, take a look at that. That's another farming level coming in already. Doesn't feel like that long ago we got 88 and planted that spirit tree, but there's 89 already, purely thanks to Zulrah drops. I guess the longer we go dry at Zulrah, at the very least we are getting certain skills up like this, which is nice. Farming kind of caps out at level 85, really. I guess at 90 you can plant redwood tree seeds, but you just never find those. I think we've had 1 or 2 in the year I've played this account, and while they are good experience, you know, it's not really something worth considering. But yeah, another farming level on the account, now 2,052 total. Good to see. Right guys, and with that farming level there, I'm going to call this episode done here. I'm just going to have to put a pin in the Zulrah progress, sadly. I did want to fully complete Zulrah in 1 episode, make a really, really cool video out of it, but like I said, I did spend 27 days from the start of this episode to the end of the episode killing Zulrah, and we've only got 1 unique to show for it, so if we continue on this drop rate, it could be another 3 months till I put a video out, so have to end it here, I'm afraid. Sorry if this one isn't the most exciting in terms of unlocks and progress, but like I say, so many of the hours were killing Zulrah. Probably something close to 80 hours of Zulrahing. If you compare that to the Barrows video, I think Barrows took us 25 hours of grinding, so there's already 3 times more PVM in this video than that one, and we're still nowhere close to being done. Despite our failure to grab all the uniques here on drop rate, we did at least get the 1 unique, the Toxic Blowpipe, during our grind here, which can be an amazing ranged weapon in itself, and is definitely going to be usable at a number of places in future, so I am very happy to have that one, and of course it is now full of scales, and we have access to medium tier ammunition for it. We did get a couple of cool level ups this episode as well. We got all the way to 89 farming, which is ridiculous to say we started at 86. I think it's 1.2 something mil XP we've gained just from Zulrah, from tree seeds, herb seeds, all that stuff. Absolutely insane here. We of course pie boosted up and planted another spirit tree inside the farming guild, so there's now only 3 left that we can plant, in theory at 94 plus 5. We also passed 96 mage, which is very impressive, but very helpful for getting back onto teleport to house, so I can actually leave Zulrah, and also that's a milestone for Trident DPS, as well as Trident of the Swamp and Sangstaff and all those others, so that's a really nice milestone. We'll get another one of those at 99 itself, along with the Mage Cape, so looking forward to that level whenever we do eventually get there. And of course I grinded out 5 thieving levels or something in my downtime here. We got to 91, which obviously we surpassed 90 for Tazar thieving, but we did also unlock that last room of Pyramid Plunder and be able to go do a desert task, and while we were there we of course did that barrage task as well, so I think we're now 3 of 6 at the desert diary, but we need 90 fletching of course, 85 prayer, and 256 Calphite Queen kills to finish that diary, so it's a little bit of a ways off, but we will definitely work towards that at some stage. In terms of supplies at Zulrah, our supplies have only been growing, which is kind of strange. The potions and the ammunition and the scales, it's all just increasing every time we go there and get kills, which is crazy good, but I guess we'll see just how big the stacks do get when we are finished at Zulrah. We did manage to do a couple of achievements at Zulrah, of course we did the kill count ones, 25, 75 and 150, so that's 3 different achievements. We managed to kill 3 snakelings at once somehow by accident. Didn't try to do that one, but we got that achievement as well. And of course I finished Zulrah off with a vengeance, so 20 total combat points here from Zulrah. I think we're at like 75 left maybe for the hard tier, but there's so many bosses we've never even been to. I think we'll manage to get that when we do go after it. And of course we cracked a few clue scrolls this episode from various places, from fishing in our downtime, some AFK undead druids, a little bit of mining. We managed to get ourselves Zami chaps, which would have been cool if we didn't already have Carol's legs, because they're very similar stat-wise, and of course the afro wig that looks really funny at the start of the episode there. As you can see on the levels specifically, we got a cooking level, we got a woodcutting level passively, we also passively got a hunter level as well, and 1 fletching level primarily from the log drops at Zulrah. Some of that XP was also from making those addy bars into darts, and of course we hit 80 herb lore, thanks a lot to the noted herbs from Zulrah, but also because we just spent so long at Zulrah, we did
3 or 4 tiers of Guthixes, because it was just that many weeks. And of course I sent 1 agility level as well, unlocked a new shortcut, so 2 more levels in Agi left. So we did get some good skilling gains and some good PVM improvements in this episode, but it just really didn't go as well as I would have liked. However, in the next one I will be gearing up, we'll be going straight back to the big snake. Don't worry, it won't be a full video of just Zulrah kills like this one was, but I think we'll probably end up completing it, even if it takes another 500 plus kills, because I just do desperately want those uniques. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for joining me, thanks for sticking with it. Sorry it's been so long, but like I say, the RNG was just kind of out of my hands. We'll have a look at Desert Treasure 2 eventually, because there's 4 brand new bosses, plus 300k prayer XP, you know, from that quest. We do need 85 prayer, so that would be about a quarter of that, just from doing a quest. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Drop a comment if you like. If you have any suggestions for the order of things in the future of this account, please do let me know, because as you know, you guys are probably better at this game than I am. And I'll, see you in the next one, or in game or something. Take care.